The morning sun rose softly, painting gold across the air. The gentle wind whispered secrets that only hearts could share. The world felt new, as if heaven had smiled my way, for Dad had promised a surprise on my birthday. I woke with wonder fluttering deep inside my chest, my heart dancing wildly, refusing any rest. His voice still echoed, calm and bright. "My child, tomorrow will be full of light." The house smelled like joy and hidden delight. The curtains swayed with the rhythm of light. Mom smiled knowingly, but said not a thing. Only whispered, "Wait, and let your soul sing." The clock ticked slower than I'd ever known, as if the seconds were carved from stone. My birthday morning glowed with mystery. Wrapped in the warmth of family history, Dad's footsteps echoed through the hall, steady and strong, the heart of it all. He smiled at me with a sparkle rare, and said, "Get ready, the day's almost there." I watched his eyes, those gentle flames. They told me stories without names, years of care and endless pride, a lifetime of love he could never hide. He handed me a small white card, the envelope sealed but not too hard. "Open it later," he softly said, "and trust your heart where dreams are led." I laughed and asked, "Is it a clue?" He nodded. "Maybe, or maybe two," then winked like he did when I was small, and whispered, "You'll soon know it all." The scent of breakfast filled the air. Pancakes, syrup, and love everywhere. Mom kissed my cheek and brushed my hair, while Dad just smiled, that secret stare. Every corner of the house was glowing, every flower on the window showing that something beautiful was soon to unfold, a story of love more precious than gold. Outside, the sky wore ribbons of blue. The clouds drifted like birthday balloons, too. Even the trees seemed to sway and hum, as if the earth knew joy had come. Dad called me out beneath the sun. "Close your eyes, the fun's begun." I did as told, my heart in flight, every beat brighter than the light. His hands were gentle as he led, each step soft where dreams had spread. I felt the grass, the breeze, the air, the scent of roses blooming there. Then our silence. The world stood still, only the flutter of my heart's will. I heard his breath calm and near, and then his whisper brushed my ear. "My child, before you open your eyes, promise to hold this moment's skies. Promise to keep your heart this pure, for love like ours will always endure." I nodded softly, a tear unseen, for Dad's words touched where I had been. He said, "Now open and see your surprise." And sunlight danced before my eyes, a garden filled with ribbons and light, balloons shining bright as the white moon's night, all my friends waiting with laughter wide, and Mom beaming proudly by Dad's side. My heart burst open like a song. It felt like I'd been waiting long. The love that shone was beyond delight. It wrapped my soul in purest light. Dad clapped his hands, his laughter rang. The joy around began to clang. "Happy birthday!" the voices cried, and I could barely hold the tide. There were flowers shaped like butterflies, cakes with colors that hypnotize, gifts arranged like stars in line, and music sweeter than summer wine. But nothing matched the gleam I saw in Dad's proud eyes, pure awe. He watched me dance, he watched me smile. His heart was full the entire while. He hugged me close and softly said, "This day's for you, my little thread, the one who sows my dreams each night, who fills my heart with endless light." I buried my face into his chest, where I'd always found my place of rest. The world could spin and fade away, but Dad's arms would forever stay. The laughter rose, the candles burned, the wheel of love forever turned. The cake was cut, the wish was made, while starlight through the windows played. He whispered, "There's more, don't go. Another surprise you have to know." And I, still glowing, turned to see what else this day would bring to me. He took my hand and led me near to something shining crystal clear, a small white box with a golden bow resting softly, its secret aglow. "Open it," he said, "and take your time. Every heartbeat has its rhyme." I untied the ribbon, trembling inside, as wonder bloomed like an ocean's tide. Inside lay a letter, folded neat, with words so kind, so softly sweet. It read, "Into my child, my soul, my friend, your joy is a journey with no end." The lines flowed gently like a song. Each word was love deep and strong. "Today I give what means the most, a memory that will never be lost." I looked at him and he just smiled, eyes glistening like a dreaming child. "This is not just your birthday day. It's the day my prayers found their way. And as I read each loving line, the world around began to shine. The laughter turned to golden hue, and all I saw was love so true. He'd written poems of every year, each birthday note preserved so dear, all the things he'd never said aloud. He'd poured in words, my heart was proud. Tears fell softly on the page, emotions that no time could cage. He whispered, "You've grown, my star, but to me you'll never be far." I hugged him tightly, soul to soul. The warmth of love made me whole. That day became more than just play. It was a memory that will never decay. The music faded softly into laughter's hum, and I could feel the future calling me to come. Dad's eyes shimmered beneath the morning sky, holding a love that could never die. He took my hand and said, "Let's walk a while," with that familiar, gentle smile. Each step across the garden floor felt like a memory from before. We passed the flowers blooming wild, each one planted when I was a child. He said, "You see that tree over there? That's where I once made a wish and prayer." He paused beneath its leafy grace. A softness touched his weathered face. "I wished for you to grow and shine, to live a life of dreams divine." The wind blew sweetly through the air, carrying secrets only hearts can share. I looked at him, my soul aglow, for I had never loved him more than now. He said, "There's one more thing, my dear. Another surprise is waiting near. But this one's not wrapped in paper or gold. It's something precious, never old." We walked beyond the laughing crowd, past the noise, beyond the loud. The sky stretched wide, a painted dome, and then I saw on our childhood home. "Do you remember?" Dad softly spoke. "The days we laughed, the toys we broke? This place holds more than walls and doors. It holds the rhythm of our cores." The windows gleamed with the dust of time, yet every memory felt sublime. I saw my drawings on the wall, the tiny marks that told it all. He smiled and said, "I kept it safe. Every piece, every small embrace. This home will always be your part, the living room of my beating heart." He turned the key with trembling hands, and I felt the pull of childhood lands. The smell of home, the sound of air, whispered, "Welcome back, you're always there." Inside, the walls were filled with grace, every frame a timeless space. Mom's laughter echoed through the hall, and I felt like that little child again, small. He showed me a box upon the floor, covered in ribbons and memories galore. "These are moments," he softly said, "that I kept safe inside my head. Old birthday cards, some torn and bent, each one a treasure of love once sent. Photos of cakes, candles, and glee, moments that made our family free." I touched each photo, one by one, until my tears began to run. Each image held 1,000 dreams. Each smile flowed like endless streams. Dad watched me quietly from behind, as if he knew what filled my mind. Then he whispered, "Do you see, my dear? Every year I kept you near." I turned to him, my heart on fire, overwhelmed by a love that would never tire. He said, "The greatest gift I could ever give is showing you how to truly live." I hugged him, trembling in the light, wishing that moment would last all night. He said, "You'll outgrow the toys and play, but my pride in you will never fade away." Then he handed me another note, written with care every line he wrote. It said, "My child, as you grow older each year, remember that love will conquer fear. Don't rush through life, don't chase the end. Find joy in laughter and peace in a friend. Always be kind, always be true, and know that my heart beats for you." The world grew silent as I read. Each word a seed of love he spread. And when I finished, my tears had grown, for I had never felt so known. He smiled and said, "The surprise isn't done. There's still more joy under the sun." He led me out where the sunlight gleamed, and the world felt like a perfect dream. A table stood beneath the shade, filled with gifts that love had made. Friends and family cheered my name, but I knew the love was Dad's true flame. He stood before them tall and strong, and said, "My child, you've come so long. From tiny steps to wings that fly, you are the reason I touch the sky." Everyone clapped and Mom wiped a tear, as Dad's proud voice rang loud and clear. He said, "The greatest gift I have today is seeing you smile this special way." I felt a glow deep in my soul, a warmth that made me whole. I knew the surprise was not a toy. It was love, the purest joy. Then he opened a case by his side and said, "This gift has waited with pride." Inside was a locket, shining bright, with my photo tucked inside just right. He placed it softly in my hand and whispered, "Now you understand. Wherever you go, near or far, my love will follow like a star." I clasped it close, unable to speak. My tears rolled down my cheek. For in that tiny golden frame was everything, his heart, his name. The sun began to gently fade, but love refused to lose its shade. He said, "My child, each year will pass, but this love, eternal as glass." I smiled through tears and softly said, "Dad, your surprise fills me with dread, not of fear, but of endless love that flows from you and heaven above." He laughed, that sound so pure and kind, the melody forever in my mind. The crowd cheered as the candles burned, and every heart with wonder turned. The night unfolded like a dream. A golden glow, a silver beam. The stars looked down and seemed to say, "This love will never fade away." Dad stood beside me, calm and near. His voice, the music I always hear. He said, "You've grown, but don't forget. Childhood love is your safest net." I nodded, smiling through the ache, feeling my soul begin to wake. Every gift that shone that night was but a mirror of his light. He held my hand and whispered slow, "There's still one place I want to show." The moonlight shimmered, the stars stood still, as if obeying his quiet will. We walked toward the hill behind, where memories and time combined. The world below glimmered wide, and peace filled my heart inside. He said, "When you were small, we came here too, to watch the stars and talk things through. This is where I made my vow, to love and guide you then and now." The wind blew softly through his hair, and I could feel the angels there. He smiled, a tear caught in his eye. "I prayed you'd grow, I prayed you'd fly, and there, beneath the moon's embrace, I saw the strength within his face." He said, "My child, your journey's long, but love will make your spirit strong." We sat in silence, hearts entwined. The world below, the stars aligned. The sky above whispered and played, and I felt his love would never fade. The moon rose higher, silver and kind, casting peace upon my mind. Dad's voice lingered like a prayer, so full of warmth, so full of care. We sat together on that hill, where dreams were born and time stood still. He said, "My child, each year you grow, you teach me more than you could know." The stars above began to dance, and I fell deep in that gentle trance. His words became my lullaby, his love the wings that helped me fly. He reached into his coat once more, and pulled a paper, gently tore. "This," he said, "is one last clue. Before my next surprise for you." I took it softly, my fingers shook, excitement blooming with every look. The paper read in Dad's neat hand, "A journey awaits, just as planned." I turned to him with eyes so wide. "Dad, what journey do you hide?" He chuckled low. "You'll see tomorrow. A day of joy, not a day of sorrow." The stars above began to hum, and I felt that something great would come. I rested my head upon his arm, where I'd always felt the world was warm. He said, "Close your eyes and dream tonight. Tomorrow brings your heart delight. The surprise I've planned is worth the wait. A story written by love and fate." The wind brushed softly through the trees, carrying whispers, carrying peace. I drifted into sleep so deep, while love stood watch, refusing sleep. When morning broke with golden hue, I woke to skies of endless blue. Dad's laughter echoed through the hall. "Wake up, my sunshine, come one, come all!" I jumped from bed, my heart alight. The world was shining, pure and bright. He said, "Dress quick, the car's outside. Your next surprise is waiting wide." I hurried down with eager glee. "What is it, Dad? Please tell me." He grinned. "Patience, my little dove. The best surprises bloom from love." Mom waved from the porch with cheer. "Have fun, my loves. Enjoy the year." And off we drove through morning haze, the city blurred in sunlight's gaze. The air was filled with scent of rain, but joy was dancing in my vein. Dad turned the music low and sweet, and tapped the rhythm with his feet. "Do you remember," he softly said, "the time you dreamed beside your bed, of flying high above the ground, where clouds and laughter both were found?" I nodded. "Yes, I wanted wings, to soar beyond the earthly things." He smiled. "Well then, today's the day. That dream might come your way." I gasped aloud, my heart took flight. The road ahead was pure delight. We turned down paths both wild and new, until the world came into view. There stood a field with open space, the sky above and a wide embrace. And in the middle, calm and proud, a small white plane gleamed like a cloud. "Dad!" I shouted, eyes so wide. He laughed until tears filled his eyes. "Yes, my child, today you'll fly up where dreams kiss the sky." I ran toward the shining wings. My heart forgot all other things. The air was full of thrill and song. It felt like heaven all along. He took my hand, his voice sincere. "Don't be afraid, I'm always near. Life's like flying, brave and free. The wings are trust, the sky's your key." The pilot smiled and waved us near. "Ready, young dreamer? There's nothing to fear." Dad helped me climb inside with care. The world beneath was light as air. The engine hummed a melody low as clouds began their gentle glow. And as we rose above the ground, my heart could only make one sound. Laughter, bright, unbound, and pure. The kind that time can't blur or cure. Dad waved below with proud delight. A king beneath the morning light. The city shrank to toy-sized forms. The fields like paintings, green and warm. I pressed my hands upon the glass and felt my fears forever pass. When we landed, Dad was waiting still, a smile that could the whole world fill. He hugged me tight and softly said, "You've touched your dreams. Now go ahead." I whispered, "Dad, that was the best." He laughed. "Oh, child, there's still a rest." Another sparkle in his eye, another secret waiting nearby. He handed me a little map, folded gently upon his lap. "Follow this," he said with grace. "It'll lead to your next surprise place." The map was drawn with loving care. Little doodles here and there. He'd sketched small stars and arrows, too, leading to where the roses grew. We walked through parks, through sunlit ways, through memories of younger days. He said each path has a story told, each turn a moment pure and gold. At last we reached a wooden gate. The sign above read, "Heaven's State." It wasn't a palace, nor a hall, but a place where hearts felt tall. Inside, the laughter of children played. Music through the meadows swayed. There were balloons, bright and sweet, and every smile made joy complete. "Dad," I asked, "what is this place?" He smiled with tears upon his face. "This," he said, "is where I grew. My childhood home, I built it for you." My breath caught short, my eyes grew wide, as wonder flooded from inside. "You built this, Dad?" I softly said. He nodded. "Every board, every shed. It's a place to dream, to laugh, to be. A home for you, your legacy." He gave me keys of golden hue and whispered, "It all belongs to you." I fell into his arms undone, my soul shining like the sun. For in that moment love was clear. He had given his life's dream here. We walked through rooms of light and art, each one crafted with heart. There were walls filled with poems I wrote, each one framed like a sacred note. He said, "Every word you've ever penned, I've kept them safe, my dearest friend. Because your voice, your love, your grace are the treasures that fill this place." I cried and laughed in equal turn, for every wall made my heart burn. The surprise was more than I could bear. It was proof of love beyond compare. He said, "Your birthday isn't about a year. It's about the bond we hold so dear. You are my heart, my joy, my pride, my reason to laugh, my reason to stride." We stood together in that home, where love had built its golden dome. And though the world outside would spin, that house would hold our hearts within. The evening sun began to glow, and Dad said softly, "Time to go. But remember, my child, this dream is yours, and love will open all its doors." We locked the gate and turned around, the air still humming with love's sound. The road back home was lined with peace, as if the world had found release. He looked at me, his eyes so deep, and said, "Now, my child, it's time to keep every promise you've ever made, to shine, to love, and not to fade." I nodded, speechless, full of light. The stars above began their flight, and I thought no gift could ever be more perfect than his love for me. The night began to whisper low, with silver stars in gentle glow. Dad and I walked side by side through the streets where memories hide. The city hummed its lullaby tune, soft as the heart beneath the moon. He said, "My child, this day was planned to show how love builds with gentle hands." I smiled. "You've given me everything, from childhood dreams to songs to sing." He laughed. "Oh no, there's one thing more, a secret I've kept since days of yore." My curiosity began to bloom. The world around lost all its gloom. "Another surprise?" I softly said. He nodded. Yes, just up ahead. We turned the corner. The lights were dim, but laughter echoed, pure and slim. And then I saw, beneath the tree, a table set for two, just he and me. Candles flickered, stars hung low. The world around began to slow. He pulled a chair and said with grace, "This is our moment, our sacred place." We sat beneath the starlit dome, our laughter soft, our hearts at home. He poured 2 cups of cocoa sweet, the scent of joy beneath our feet. "This," he said, "is where I dreamed. Of life with you, just as it seemed. Every birthday, every year, I thank the heavens for you, my dear." He leaned back, eyes bright with glow. "I remember the first time I held you, you know. You were tiny, soft as a sigh, and I promised to love you till I die." The wind brushed gently through his hair, and I could feel forever there. He reached across and held my hand. No words, just love that would withstand. The candles flickered, the shadows danced, and in that silence my soul advanced. For I understood beyond the night that love itself was my truest light. He said, "This day was never about gifts, nor about songs or joy that lifts. It was about showing what love can do when it lives inside the heart of you." I felt my eyes grow soft with tears, memories flooding through the years. Every lesson, every scold was a chapter in love untold. He laughed and said, "Do you recall when you painted your name upon the wall? I left it there. It's still in place, a mark of joy I could never erase." I laughed through tears and softly spoke, "Oh, Dad, that wall, the paint I broke." He chuckled, "Yes, but that's okay. It makes me smile to this very day." We sipped our cocoa, watched the stars, spoke of dreams and flying cars. He said, "The world is yours to take, but never forget what love can make." I asked him then, "What is your wish, if you could ask from heaven's dish?" He smiled, his voice so deep and kind, "I wish to live forever in your mind." Those words became my beating heart, a sacred vow that set apart. He said, "When I'm gone, look to the skies, and you will see my smiling eyes." I leaned upon his arm once more. The night around began to soar, and though the world was calm and still, my soul was dancing free of will. He reached into his coat again and pulled a photograph from back when. It was of him, so young and proud, holding me wrapped in a blanket shroud. "You see this picture?" he softly said. "I carried it close where my prayers are fed. It reminded me of why I live, to protect, to love, to always give." I touched the photo, warmth inside, and whispered, "You've done that, Dad, with pride." He smiled. "Then my heart can rest, for your love has passed the test." The night grew deep, the stars now cold, but still our story sweetly told. He said, "You'll grow, my dear, and see the same love flow from you through me." We sat until the dawn was near, until the birds began to cheer, and as the sunlight kissed the skies, he wiped the sleep from tired eyes. "Come," he said, "it's time to go. There's one more thing you need to know." We walked through mist and golden dew, each step a promise shining true. Back home, the house stood still and calm, the morning light a healing balm. He opened the door and led me in, where love and laughter had always been. On the table lay a velvet box, adorned with lace and silver locks. He said, "This is the last surprise, the one that comes with tears and sighs." I opened it slow, my breath held tight. The room filled up with morning light. Inside, a watch, old yet grand, engraved with care by his own hand. It read, "Time may pass, but love will stay. For my child on this birthday." I touched the watch, my soul was stirred. My heart couldn't speak a word. He said, "This was mine when I was young, a symbol of time where songs are sung. I give it now to you, my heart, for every end is a new start. Keep it close, through joy and pain, and you'll feel me there again." Tears fell fast, I couldn't hide, the ocean swelling deep inside. I said, "Dad, you've given me more than any gift could hold in store." He smiled and brushed away my tear. "Then my purpose is done, my dear. For birthdays come and birthdays go, but love, true love, will always flow." We sat together, time stood still, the world outside soft and tranquil. The clock ticked slow, a gentle beat, a melody of love complete. I leaned against his shoulder strong, humming softly our favorite song. And in that moment I understood that love is the greatest good. He said, "Someday you'll have your child, and when they smile, soft and mild, Tell them this, that life's true art is to love with all your heart. The sunlight spilled through golden glass, and hours like feathers came to pass. The party guests had all gone home, but love still filled our heart's dome. He took my hand and softly sighed. You are my greatest joy and pride. I said, Dad, I'll never forget this day. Your surprises, your words, your way. He smiled. Then promise me one thing, that through each season you will sing. The stars returned to claim the sky, while gentle clouds went drifting by. The laughter lingered in the air, and love still glowed everywhere. That night I couldn't fall asleep. My heart was dancing wide and deep. Each gift, each word, each loving glance played through my mind like a soft romance. I rose and walked to Dad's old chair, the scent of him still floating there. His book lay open, half unread. A candle flickered near his bed. On its page was a note so small, folded with care, touched by all. I opened it slow, my breath held tight, and tears began to blur my sight. It said, my child, if you read this one day, remember the promise I made today, that birthdays fade and candles burn. But love, real love, will always return. When I am far, look to the moon. You'll feel me there, you'll see me soon. For love knows no end, no place, no time. It flows through stars, through hearts, through rhyme. I held the note against my chest, feeling his words, my soul at rest. I whispered softly through the night, I'll love you forever, Dad, my light. The clock ticked slow, serene, profound, as moonlight danced without a sound. I felt his presence calm and near, the same voice I'd always hear. The morning came with gentle hue, and sunlight kissed the world anew. Dad entered, calm and kind as spring, holding something small and a golden ring. This, he said, is my final part of the birthday gift straight from my heart. It's not for wealth nor for display, but to remind you of this day. He slipped it onto my trembling hand and whispered, now you understand. Love's not in things or grand surprise, but in how a heart never lies. The ring shone bright beneath the flame, engraved inside my very name, and underneath in tiny grace was written, forever my heart's place. I looked at him through misted sight and hugged him close with all my might. He said, you are my endless song, the reason I've been brave and strong. Mom joined us then, her smile divine. Her eyes reflected love's own shine. She said, your father planned this year, with laughter, patience, and happy tear. Dad smiled. I wanted you to see what family means to you and me. It's not the party, not the cake, but the memories that hearts make. We sat together, three as one, bathed in light from morning sun. The world outside began to hum, and peace within us softly spun. He told me stories from his youth, of lessons learned of simple truth, how his father taught him grace, and how he dreamed to take his place. He said, someday you'll understand the weight of love, the heart's demand. And when you give all your soul. That's what makes a spirit whole. His words sank deep into my core, like waves that kiss the endless shore. And I knew right then and there that love like his was pure and rare. As the day went on, guests returned, their laughter bright, the candles burned. Music played through hearts and hands. Joy like sunlight crossed the lands. Dad stood tall, his smile like spring. He started to laugh, to dance, to sing. The house was full, the walls alive. Every heartbeat seemed to thrive. I took his hand and spun around, our laughter making golden sound. And when the song began to slow, he whispered, my child, I love you so. The night returned with tender rain. The world washed clean from joy and pain. We stood outside, the stars awake. The moon above began to shake. Make one last wish, Dad softly said. The kind that lives inside your head. I closed my eyes and made it clear. To keep you close year after year. He smiled. That wish I'll make with you, and heaven will know our promise true. The rain then stopped, the stars grew still, and I felt a warmth that time can't kill. We walked back in with hearts so free, our laughter joined in harmony. The cake was gone, but love remained, like fragrance sweet that never waned. He said, my child, you've grown so fast, but always remember, love will last. The best surprise I could ever give is showing you how to truly live. Those words became my heart's refrain, a melody that eased all pain. I looked at him with quiet grace and kissed the smile upon his face. Then slowly, softly, candles dimmed, and all the world around us brimmed with memories that would never fade, for love like his is never unmade. The years have passed since that bright day, but his voice still guides my way. The ring still shines upon my hand, like sunlight across the golden sand. Sometimes at night when I feel alone, I close my eyes and hear his tone. Don't cry, my child, I'm right here near. Your heart will always find me clear. And then I smile through quiet tears, for love has conquered all the years. His surprise lives on, so pure, so wide, a lighthouse in my heart and side. So when my birthday comes again, I set 2 cups just as then, one for me and one for him. Where memories never grow dim, I pour the cocoa, warm and sweet, and whisper softly to the seat. Dad, the stars still shine your way. Your surprise still lights my day. And though the world may spin and change, love remains a sacred exchange. His voice still hums through every dawn, a melody that carries on. I see his smile in morning dew, in every sky's cerulean hue. And when I laugh, I know it's he, smiling quietly through me. So, Dad, this poem is yours to keep, a promise whispered soft and deep. Your surprise became my soul's design, a love eternal yours and mine. The candles flicker, the stars above bear witness to our endless love. For though birthdays come and fade away, your gift will live beyond the day. No jewels, no gold, no earthly art could ever hold your father's heart. But every word, each smile, each tear still whispers softly, I'm always here. So I end this poem, long and true, a story of love that lives through you. Dad, you gave me more than I could say. A lifetime wrapped in one birthday. And as I gaze upon the sky, I feel your soul still drifting by. The stars align, the night turns blue. Dad, every surprise begins with you.